I have some more information for you which you may find useful throughout the year. All of these documents will be available on our class page on the school website. Some of you may have seen these before if you've got older siblings. The first thing is our curriculum map. This highlights our topics and things that we are going to be learning throughout the year. So if you wanted to see what our current topic is, what we're doing in science, what things we're learning in math, it'll all be on our curriculum map and you can go and have a look, so you can help to support your children at home. It may even be a tip for you to ask certain questions to your children about what they're doing in school. As we know, they don't always answer us correctly. The second thing is some recall information. This one is for maths and it has the autumn 1 term and autumn 2 on the back. It just shows you some basic instant recall facts that we would like the children to know by the end of that half term. So it says very clearly, by the end of this half term, we would hope that the children know certain number bonds to 6, for example. So we start adding numbers together and then subtracting as well. And then next half term, we're looking specifically at language, so more, less, one more, one less, few, fewer, fewest. So if you were using that terminology at home with your child as well, and we're using it in school, that's really going to benefit your child, because vocabulary in maths is really tricky to pick up. So that's another thing that you can do to support your child. We also have a talk sheet for maths. There's a really big significance in being able to explain mathematics now, not just know the answers and get to them quickly. And that can be quite tricky if you've never done it before. So on this sheet, there are lots and lots of different sort of conversation starters about maths and about number that you can use, but also encourage your child to use as well. So it's a good way to open up conversation in maths. I also have for you our common exception words. So in year 1 we have high frequency words. They're words that come up very often, but we also have common exception words, and these words are words that our phonics cannot help us with. So the children just have to learn them, and that can be really tricky for some. So it's quite handy to have the list up and be practicing those, and they will come into our spellings as well. Then we also have our maths non-negotiables. So these are things that the children really do need to be secure on before moving to year 2. This learning is going to help build the foundation for the learning in year 2. What I have is I have the reception page on one side. So if there are any gaps, anything that your child has missed due to COVID, or maybe there were certain areas they were finding a bit tricky before, you can see what we would have hoped they would have got by the end of reception. And then on the other side is year 1. So you can start by looking at that at home, and again seeing whether you think there's anything that your child maybe needs a little bit more support of at home, and obviously we'll be doing that at school as well. And then we have our writing non-negotiables. So the same as the maths non-negotiables, these are things that your child really needs in order to be successful in year 2. And we have here in the green the year 1 writing non-negotiables, and then you can see how it steps up in year 2. So we're at the beginning of year 1, it's not anything to panic about now, we have the whole year, but it might be useful for you to see what their targets are and what sort of things we're going to be working on in school. Then the bookmarks, the keyword bookmarks I spoke about before, they look like this. I just wanted to show you them so that when your child brings them home, you won't be too surprised or not know what they are. They have different colours and different pictures on them, but they're a bookmark like this with the list of words that we would expect the children to be able to read. And then lastly, discussion of stories and texts and reading is really important, especially as the year goes on. As the children become more fluent with their reading, what we want to do is engage in conversation and check that the children really understand what they have read. And again, it can be quite hard to think of what questions to ask when discussing a text. So what we have got for you is a key stage 1 question bookmark, which might be handy to have when your child is reading, so that before they start reading you can pick a question to ask them, during, and then on the back there's after as well. So it just gets your child used to discussing a text when you're reading it at home, and we will be doing that in our guided reading in school as well. So that's useful for you there. I hope that's been really helpful. If you have any questions or anything you're not sure of, please contact us and we're more than happy to talk to you.